Hi everybody, I'm Susan Mulvihill. Welcome back to our garden in Spokane, Washington, where the hardiness zone ranges from 5B to 6A. Now, if I were to say the two words, Japanese beetles, would that give you a hopeless feeling or maybe make your blood pressure go up a little? Well, that's not my intent. My intent for today is to share with you helpful information that you can use in your own garden. As their name implies, Japanese beetles are native to Japan, and they were first discovered in the United States in 1916, which is quite a few years ago. What usually happens is that insects hitch a ride on plants that are imported to another area of the world, and then they become established, and that is exactly what's happened in this case. The adults are 1/2 inch long, and they have beautiful metallic green and bronze bodies. Now I realize I probably shouldn't use the word beautiful when referring to Japanese beetles, but you have to admit they sure are pretty. The grubs are 1 inch long at maturity. They have cream-colored bodies, a dark head, and a V-shaped pattern of hairs on their hind ends. Now, if you're curious about the status of Japanese beetles, I've got some information to share with you, and I promise to put links to this information in the description that will go along with this video on my YouTube channel. So this map is from ResearchGate, and it seems to be the most up-to-date information. And so I just want to walk you through what the colors mean. So let's start with this pale green area. And so that is category 1. It means that the states are not infested by Japanese beetles, but they're considered quarantined pests. Category 2 is this medium color of green. Those are uninfested states or partially infested states, and Japanese beetles are regulated but not quarantined. Category 3 is this dark green here. It refers to partially or generally infested states, and Japanese beetles are not regulated. So category 4 is represented by these pale yellow states, so Wyoming, Louisiana, and Florida, and they are not known to be infested. I was surprised about Louisiana and Florida, but after some quick research I learned that their weather is not conducive to promoting a breeding population of Japanese beetles. So that's a plus. Now, as you know, I live in Washington State, specifically Eastern Washington State. And I know a lot of you out there live in Washington in various areas. So I thought you might be interested to see how many Japanese beetles had been trapped in a few counties within Washington State. So these first two listings are for Yakima County in different areas. And between the two, we're looking at 69,000 Japanese beetles. Yikes. In Franklin County, about 2,400. In Benton County, 10, that's promising. And in King County, 865. It was more than I was expecting to see. And I realize it's probably only a matter of time. So for many of you, I'm hoping that this information today will be especially relevant and helpful. Now for our friends to the north, I found this map showing the levels of infestation throughout the Canadian provinces. And category 1 is red, which is British Columbia. And I have to tell you, to me, red means bad, but I'm happy to report it is an uninfested region. Category 2, which is the yellow here, refers to uninfested or partially infested areas, and Newfoundland and Labrador fall into that category. Category 3 is the green, and that means partially or generally infested, and that refers to Ontario, Quebec, and New Brunswick. And then category 4, which is all of the gray, means not known to be infested. Very interesting. The grubs emerge as adult beetles, usually in June, and the beetles can live for 4 to 8 weeks. During that period of time, they can lay up to 60 eggs. What happens is that the adult beetles lay eggs off and on during the summer months into your sod. And when the grubs hatch, they spend quite a long time of their life down there. And what they're doing is they're eating the roots of your sod. And so what you're going to see is a lot of dead spots in your lawn. The beetles cause so much damage both to edible and ornamental plants. What's really frustrating is that their feeding causes the plants to release pheromones, which are natural chemicals that in turn attract more beetles. Ugh! When the beetles are disturbed, they typically will drop to the ground, making it harder to find and catch them. Although the good news is, in early morning, they're much more sluggish. So I mentioned that the grubs cause a lot of damage to your lawn. But let's look at some of the other plants that the beetles damage. In the vegetable garden, beetles are drawn to basil, beans, collards, corn, eggplants, leafy greens such as lettuce and spinach, okra, peppers, soybeans, and tomatoes. Their ornamental host plants include roses, hollyhocks, and canna lilies, but they're also attracted to Japanese maples, fruit trees, berry vines, grapes, crepe myrtles, and birch trees. I'll put links to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's lists of plants that are susceptible to adult feeding and plants that they state are more resistant to their feeding damage on this video's description on YouTube. Now, believe it or not, there are beneficial insects that prey upon Japanese beetles as well as certain types of creatures. They include assassin bugs, parasitic wasps. This one you're looking at is a braconid wasp, robber flies, and taconid flies. There's one in the middle of the screen, just in case you're searching for it. And also birds, moles, and skunks. Early morning hand picking is a great way to take out a whole bunch of Japanese beetles because remember I mentioned that they're more sluggish in the early hours of the day. And this would be my weapon of choice. So Bill and I eat a lot of yogurt. And every time we empty a container, I wash it out and set it aside for various types of things. What you do is you would fill this up about 2/3 of the way with water, put a squirt or two of dish soap in there. And what the soap does is it breaks up the surface tension. So when you knock the beetle in, it can't get back out. And you can use this over and over and over and get as many as you possibly can. Mow your lawn less. That allows the grasses to become stronger and more tolerant to grub damage. I know that might look untidy, but it is worth it. Also, water your lawn less during the summer because those grubs depend on that moisture in order to thrive. Aerate your lawn to kill the grubs. Use row covers over plants that don't require pollination. Here are some organic products that you can use. Add beneficial nematodes to your sod. They are soil-dwelling roundworms that will target the grubs. You can find them at online sources such as Arbico Organics, and the species you want, this is important, is Steinernema Rio Brave. Apply Bt galeriae to control both the beetles and the grubs. It's also available at Arbico Organics if you're looking for a source. Apply it to your lawn when the grubs first hatch and again when the beetles start emerging. Sprinkle kaolin clay on the beetles' favorite plant leaves to cut back on their feeding on them. Spray neem oil on the leaves. Be sure to follow the label directions. Apply milky spore, which is Pinobacillus papiliae, after egg laying time to infect and kill the grubs. It comes as a powder or a granule that you apply to your lawn and water in. Insecticidal soap can be sprayed onto the beetles in the morning when they're sluggish. Now I know you're not going to like this one, but don't use Japanese beetle traps. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but research has shown time and again that it will attract even more Japanese beetles to your garden, and that's the last thing that you need. So don't put that on your list of controls. Now, just in case you weren't aware of this, I'm the author of the best-selling Vegetable Garden Pest Handbook. In it, I focus on the most damaging insect pests, including Japanese beetles, as well as the beneficial bugs that help us out in our gardens. All of the controls are organic, and there are lots of helpful strategies included. You can find a copy in my Amazon store under the Susan's Books category. And I should also add that as an Amazon affiliate, I do make a small commission on the sales, but it will not impact the price you pay in the least. Okay, that is everything I wanted to share with you today about this horrible pest. I hope you found it helpful. And again, I will put links to the information that I shared with you earlier on the description that goes with this video on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching today, everybody. Happy gardening and good luck.